Pfizer unveiling a new China strategy. Angelica Peebles joins us now with more. Hi, Angelica.
Hey, Becky, that's right. Pfizer is striking a deal with China's 3S Bio to license a cancer drug that uses arguably the hottest technology right now. It's called a bispecific antibody, and it targets PD-1, like the blockbuster Keytruda, and also VEGF. Now, the drug that Pfizer is getting is already in several clinical trials in China for non-small cell lung cancer, colorectal cancer, and gynecological tumors. And 3S Bio plans to start the first phase 3 trial in China this year. Now, Pfizer's paying 3S Bio $1.25 billion upfront and up to $4.8 billion for the rights to develop and sell the drug outside of China. Now, that's roughly double what Merck paid for a similar licensing deal late last year. And it just speaks to the interest here, both in this specific technology and also Chinese deals. So like Merck, Pfizer's licensing this drug from a Chinese company. And that's a trend that we're seeing across pharma. So far this year, 42% of big pharma deals with at least $50 million up front came from China, and that already tops last year's record before today's deal was announced, according to data from Dealogic. So this is just a continuation of a couple trends that we're seeing, Becky.
You know, Angelica, this plays into all of the cross currents in the tensions with China and the trade talks. How does that factor into any of this thinking?
So it's really interesting because I think you saw this rush of deals before the tariffs, and people were thinking, is that because people want to get ahead of those geopolitical tensions? But obviously, you're continuing to see these deals come about. But I did think it was interesting in the release. Pfizer specifically says that it plans to make the drug in the U.S., which is something that we typically don't see. Companies really don't like to disclose where they're making their drugs. So I thought that was one interesting point and maybe plays into those geopolitical tensions.
Walter Isaacson was here yesterday and was pointing out that in China right now, China has more drug development studies than we have in the United States, that companies here are choosing to do it there more frequently than here, I guess because of problems they have trying to get things through the FDA.
Well, one of the things in China is that you can move much more quickly, and it's also significantly cheaper to run your clinical trials. And so that's why you're seeing this move to China. So you can get something that moves faster. You can have that data actually validated much quicker and at a lower cost. And so that is something that you're seeing. And also, you know, China has made a concerted effort to invest in biopharma. And so you're seeing a proliferation of companies, a lot of Americans who are Chinese Americans who are actually going to China and taking their knowledge that they've learned here and doing it there. And so you're seeing this just confluence of factors that is creating this rise in China. And obviously drug companies see that, and that's where they're going and doing a lot of these deals.